Welcome to the second part, how to digitize your analog slides. In this second part, we will focus on processing. This means the prerequisite is that you already have captured the slides with your digital camera, and you have the raw files on your computer, and now you want to process them to get them in the right position, to get the exposure right, and this we want to do in a most efficient manner. This process is especially for you if ultra-high image quality is not your first priority. We want to do it very fast and efficient for lots of slides. And we will do it using open source software. So basically you could do this also on Windows, but you will see I prefer Linux. So right here you see my Linux desktop. I'm using Fedora Workstation, but the tools we are using right now are also available in the same or similar way on Windows. What do we need? We do need here from left to right darktable, which is a raw image developer. So we will feed our raw videos or raw images through darktable to get them processed. Then we have here an image viewer. I'm using GWN view, but you could use every image viewer you want. Let's have a look how it looks like. Here are the images I have captured using a projector as demonstrated in the other video. And this is a sample set we will work on. You see they are Sony Alpha RAW files. And let's have a look at one. You see there is the frame around. This means the area we have captured is a little bit, the camera is a little bit larger than the slide. And we have kind of vignetting a little bit of, and it's a little bit tilt and it's upside down. And we will need the image viewer to do the final processing step to get them in the right orientation in an efficient way. First, let's talk about organizing image files. I strongly recommend to separate the processing from the gallery. This means the directory where you store your raw files, where are the XMPs, where the working there is, where you're inspecting all the JPEGs you're producing, should be separated from the gallery. The gallery should be organized in capturing sessions. This is the directory tree for your gallery, which you publish using Photo Structure, Photo Prism, or whatever you want. So this avoids duplicates of the raw files, and it also avoids to have the work in progress pictures being published into your gallery. It's a clean separation. I strongly recommend that. Before starting in darktable, let's talk a little bit about not the theory, but the basics of processing. Why is RAW so important? The point is that an analog film already contains a built-in base curve, which translates or transforms the luminance and the colors of the light into luminance and colors on the film. This means, for example, a Fuji Velvia has a certain base curve and produces a nice contrast, very good green values, and so on. So the base curve is also a property of a digital camera. The base curve in the digital camera transforms also luminance and colors into the nice colors we see in the JPEG and the contrast and so. Without the base curve, the image would be dull and contrastless. So this is why we have to turn off the base curve, and the RAW doesn't contain any base curve by itself. JPEG is already a translation to a base curve, but RAW not. And we want to use the base curve of the analog film. Let's turn off the base curve in darktable. We are right now in the light table where you have the overview over your images. We go to the preferences. Then go to processing, and here auto apply per camera base curve presets off. Turn this off. This is very important. That's it. So right now we are in Darktable, and this is no tutorial about Darktable. There are very well tutorials about Darktable out in the internet on YouTube. Have a look at them. We are in the light table view where we have an overview of all the images. This is where we import our raw files, our raw images. So let's import, add to library. I'm already in the directory I have created with all the raws, and we say add to library, and here they are. Don't be afraid of that, this broken link. Okay, right now we have all the images and look quite good. Next step is to pick one image as the master image and create the style for processing. This is very important. Take an image where you see the full frame of the image captured. So no dark edges, no dark sky right here. This looks quite good. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, looks good. This is a little bit unsharp. Down here. From this perspective, maybe not the best image, but nevertheless, we will take it. So what are the steps we will take to process this image? First, let's start here. For processing, we activate dithering. We then have a look at the vignetting. Vignetting, let's have a look at it and then shrink it a little bit. No. So, okay. Basically, we use it like this, make it a little bit elliptic, and the point is that we move the brightness on 0, so that there's no effect, and a little bit in the other direction to get the edges a little bit, just a little bit lighter. So, looks good. Looks good. Vignetting. Local contrast. Always a good advice to increase the contrast. That's sharpen, I think, is the next thing we should use. Let's have a look if we don't find it. Sharpen. As activated, sharpen. And now crop. Let's have a look at crop. A little bit larger. Let's make it larger so we can easily process it. And now from the left hand side, make sure there is cut enough away so that if the place is a little bit different, the placement of other images is a little bit different, the framing, they still won't show any black frames, any black borders. Doesn't look that bad. Maybe here a little bit. Go down. This is just an example how to do it. Of course, if you're doing it the real way or for your productive environment, you should zoom in and so on. Yeah, I like that. Okay, right now looks quite good. What else makes sense? Just a moment. Orientation. Zack. Transform. This way we have a correct transformation. You see here down the borders, the slide doesn't look that good. so the orientation is good this way. But let's have again a look at crop. Okay, and make this a little bit more, go down here, go up. Yeah, it's fine. Large. Not bad. Quite good. Okay, then you could also have look at highlight reconstructions already active. So basically that is it. We will not make any changes to the color, to the base curve, to saturation, etc. because we have this really 80s or 90s film style look with the colors of Fuji, Velvia or Kodak, whatever you have. Nice. That's it. Simply go back to light table. You're done. Now in light table mode, we will copy the style or the history, so-called history, from this image to the other images. Let's do this. You simply can do it by copy paste or Control C, Control V. Let's do it. This one. Okay, looks good, but the orientation has not been copied. Let's have a look at that. We revert this action, go here and do a selective copy. Okay, in the copy of the history stack, the orientation is missing. So we click on the history or orientation and say okay, and right now copy to that. Yes, here also works. Okay, this is portrait, but you see on the landscape it works quite well. Let's select all of the other images and let's apply this history stack. Very good, we're done. Next step is generating or exporting the JPEGs from that. So we again select all of the images, go down and go to the export. Right now we are here in export. The quality is 95 and the size, if you select 0, it will take, darktable will take the original size, but we take a somewhat smaller size. 2000 is fine because the resolution of that is not so good. So let's take it, upscaling, yes. The directory is okay. Good. Let's do the export. Okay, it's running. Now it's time for a coffee. See you in a few minutes. Right now we are again in GWN view to do the final quality control and rotation. Okay, you see the landscape are already fine. The portrait are being rotated. But you can do this with one click. GWN view, and maybe you have even an editor which allows this to do it in bulk. But it varies, sometimes it's clockwise, sometimes it's counterclockwise. Okay, let's save all these changes. Let's have a look at the images we have right now done. You see I have already rotated some of them, and this was just a short demonstration how to do it. Let's have a look at. Yeah, looks really nice. The final step we will do is the time warp. This means we will take the original date of all the images, which is the capture date, which comes from a digital camera, and we will change this using exif tool to the date and time when the event really happened. Okay, so what do we need? We need the exif tool, and we need a Linux command line. Here you see the images, and I already have the correct command in history. It is exif tool, then datetime original, and here I'm setting autumn of the early 1990s and midday, and because I'm setting this date time for all of the images, and this small little dot at the end means apply this to every image in the directory. Let's do it. With the exclamation mark, we simply repeat this. Let's go. Okay, you see, one directory scanned, 74 image files updated. And you see, the exif tool is keeping the original and generating new images with the changed exif date. We can delete the originals after checking those JPEGs here. Let's have a look at them. Again, we go to our image viewer, right here, to the exported slides. You see the originals are also recognized by GWNU as images. And let's take one of those, let's say this one here, and let's have a look at the properties. The technical dates of the file is from today noon. And now let's have a look at the exif details. Here we are. We've time warped this image back to the end of September 1992. So if you're using PhotoStructure, digicam, or what else software for organizing your images, and you have a timeline in this image organizer, it will show up at the early 1992s. Last but not least, let's a little bit draw on memories and have a look at the images. Double click on this and have large scale. Yeah, this looks really nice. It's a little bit above 4,000 meters. Resting for the final attempt on the summit. Here the ascent. Me with my happy backpack. Early 1990s. Morning light. You see, I could have done better by reducing those highlights, but it's fine. Again, the morning light. Not that bad. And here at the summit. Okay, hope you enjoyed. Let's make a summary. Let's recap in short what we have done. We have organized the digital slides in a processing directory to distinguish them from the final gallery, where we will have access from PhotoStructure, PhotoPrism, whatever you want. We have developed those in as raw files in darktable, where we processed first a master image and then applied the style, including the orientation, to all of the other images. We did final quality control in an image viewer, and sometimes we had to get portrait back and rotated those slides or images individually. Organizing means now you could move them to a gallery directory or whatsoever. And last but not least, we have to time warp them. This means we have to receive again or set again the original date and time when they have been captured. I made this just bulk for all of the files because the year and the month is of important, but not the day or even the time. So I hope you had some fun, and well, Thanks for watching.